The first way that I decided to organize my questions were in three categories: what questions, if questions, and how questions. As I organized them in these three categories, I noticed that the questions that are if or how questions seem to be questions that are easier to take action on. Berger mentions that one aspect of asking questions is then coming up with a plan of how you're going to solve that question. So it seems to be easier to identify questions that are if or how questions to come up with a plan. The second way that I organized my questions were questions that impacted teachers or students and families. What I found interesting is as I sorted my questions into these two categories, I found a few questions that fell into just the teacher category, but then I had a large number of questions that I thought impacted both groups, teachers and students and families. So I think this shows that so many things that we do as teachers are connected to everyone within our school. For my third way of sorting my questions, I sorted them into two categories: content versus environment. So when I think of content, I'm thinking of questions that fell into the category of curriculum-based questions. And secondly, environment would be like the physical environment or things that um, the layout of a school. But then as I sorted them out, I figured out that I had a couple of questions that didn't really seem to fit into one or the other. I had two questions that ended up I felt could have went either way, content or environment. And then lastly, I had one question left over that I didn't really know where to put it all together, and it was how do you address teacher burnout? So kind of ended up with a miscellaneous category, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. When I look at this final set of question sorting, the environment category is actually the category that kind of gets me the most excited. Questions like if you could change one thing about your school, what would it be? What is the dream school building you would want? What are the things you want in your dream school? Why do some students love school and others don't? Makes me really think about and question what is it about school that can make it so exciting and wonderful for students and a place that they want to be and enjoy. These seem like questions that are actionable and something that would take a lot more research to figure out the answers to these questions.